All right, so I actually like this setup right here, but I just wanted to let you guys know that tomorrow I will be going back home to Long Island, which means a couple of things. Tomorrow I should be able to put out a video, but the following days will be a little bit more interesting. The quality might not be the best because all of my equipment for making videos, the camera, things like that will be up here. No, I should be able to bring my camera, but my green screen and things like that will actually be up here, and I'll have to make some temporary stuff for my home office, which hopefully you guys remember, I have that back home. So I should make it work, but if you start to see some interesting things in quality or production of the videos, I just wanted to let you guys know that that's why. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. What's going on YouTube? Hidden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at XRP. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as Litecoin. I apologize in advance for my voice if it sounds a little raspy, as I am getting over a cold right now. But I wanted to spend today's video discussing a couple things. We do have an article that talks about XRP potentially going to 16 cents. I want to talk about the possibilities of that actually happening, as well as talking about the little dip we're having within Bitcoin. We're going to talk about Ethereum, Litecoin, as well as my shorting position within Dudex. I do think that's quite interesting, and I do have some news to share about that as well. Otherwise, yesterday I did make a video in regards to XRP going to $200, and if you guys actually watched the video before commenting, you would have known I wasn't actually pro permable to $200. I was actually claiming that this is borderline not really that possible in regards to comparison to the market that we're currently in, as well as the fact that XRP has billions of tokens in circulation, as well as their companies holding on to a bunch. It doesn't seem that likely to see $200 floating around as an XRP price. And then people were comparing this to Bitcoin and Ethereum going up to higher levels, but we'll discuss that later on. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, guys. If you leave a thumbs up, we're trying something new. We're trying to see if we can beat the YouTube algorithm. All you have to do is drop a thumbs up. Let's try to get at least 300 likes on this video. If we do, we will be doing giveaways, and as you know, there is one coming up this Friday. All you guys have to do is comment hashtag CryptoTV down below, subscribe, and make sure you leave a thumbs up to be entered in that $25 free Bitcoin giveaway. Let's try to beat this YouTube algorithm, and let's comment, let's leave a thumbs up. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. So guys, in regards to yesterday, just to really quick recap on XRP, a lot of people looked at XRP and they're like, oh, XRP can easily go to $200 because we've seen Ethereum go to $1,500 and we've seen Bitcoin go to 20. Well, you have to take into consideration, Bitcoin only has 18 million coins in circulation. Ethereum has 100 million coins in circulation. XRP has 43 billion coins in circulation. Also consider that most of the coins that are in Bitcoin's circulating supply are already out. There's none really left, which you can see right here. Its max supply is 21 million. And there's 18 million in circulation right now. When you look at XRP has 43 billion in circulation, and there's 99 billion or 100 billion in its total supply. So the logistics of XRP going to $200 to $80 to $1,000, it's just not likely. We will see the market cap, absolutely. It would be massive. It'd be comparable to some big countries' net worths in market cap. It'd be, to see trillions and trillions of dollars in just XRP alone, it'd be quite odd. And we would obviously see all the other cryptos shooting up too, because it wouldn't just go to XRP. We'd see Ethereum, we'd see Bitcoin, we'd see Litecoin, Binance Coin, Bitcoin Cash. They would all start to accumulate in size and market cap. So pretty much if any of you invested in a coin, they would all go up as well with XRP. Now, what I wanted to focus on with today's episode was this article that I had right here. In regards to buyers, this is I kind of did mention this before, but it's saying buyers may not be interested in XRP till it visits 16 cents. And it kind of makes sense. XRP's recent bearishness first came earlier this month when it fell through the 30-cent region. And it's basically talking about that people who are interested in margin trading XRP wanted to get in at prices region of 33 cents, but it didn't get a chance. So those who want to buy XRP tokens for long term are looking at the 16 to 20 cents range, as Bitcoin has to short to 4.8K. So to continue off of that, it kind of makes sense. It really does kind of make sense.
Because in terms of long-term trading, this is long-term. This is over at least a year basis. This is into next year or the following, at least 2 years. In regards to when to buy in, it doesn't make sense to be buying in at 22 cents. It really doesn't. We need to look for prices as low as, honestly, as low as 14 cents. 15 cents is definitely an option. I'd say the bottom right here is around 15 cents. So honestly, anywhere there up to around 20 cents is a great buying opportunity, mainly because they're looking at exactly what I am, and it's a major descending triangle forming on this coin, and we haven't really tested prices as low as that since 2017. So it's been about 4 years now of merely just trading above those prices, and it seems like for right now we're starting to climb back down to those levels. Not sure why, but usually when we see these higher lows set, we tend to see a break to the upside after that. Now, we may not go to extremely high level prices like $3, but we may see a small break to 41 cents, even as high as 50 cents after we test as low as 15 to 16 cents per coin. So obviously these are opportunities to be buying in on the long term, which would be down here. Now this is reaching about May. This is the end of April, May of 2020. You'll notice that there is still opportunities, though, if you want to trade in the short term to make some money. And I wanted to discuss that with today's video more so on Bitcoin as well as XRP. So just because people are quoting that 16 cents is the better buying opportunity, which it very well could be if you wanted to hold long term. In regards to short term, we are oversold on the daily. We're oversold on the 4 hour. A lot of these things are proving worthy that there's a good chance we're going to see a run up. There's a really good chance we could see a short-term run, whether that's to 27 cents and then we fall back down. It's probably what it looks like. You can see we're already tested 20 cents and pulled all the way back up to 22. There's a chance we're going to go higher, retesting the high-low MMA and then getting rejected off of that and falling lower. So what you could do is buy now, sell off when you hit here, short the coin all the way back down. It's just an option. Now, we don't have XRP shorting on Dudex yet. I'm sure there are other websites where you can do that, but that kind of leads me into my discussion on Bitcoin, a coin that proved to be quite valuable and interesting in the near future as well as right now. So I wanted to talk about Dudex. Most of you guys on Patreon who have me on Patreon, for those of you who don't know what Patreon is, it's basically a way to get access to all of my TradingView charts as well as me personally. You guys can contact me pretty much 24/7 as well as get access to these ever updating charts, my buy-in and sell-off opportunities that pretty much get updated live, so you don't have to worry about waiting for these YouTube videos to go live and publish, even on days where I'm not available to make videos, which is coming up because of Thanksgiving. You guys can get this access pretty much instantly. So to continue off of that, I've been talking about Dudex. Dudex was an account that, believe it or not, they wanted to sponsor a video of mine, and I did do that. And I started to play around with it, and I actually started to like the fact that you could buy and short Bitcoin, and I decided to stick with it. Not because they're still sponsoring anymore, but because I actually genuinely enjoy using the app. But, it is fairly new to me, and it is fairly new to you guys. Some of you guys are a little bit more adaptable, or you adapted to this much quicker than I did, but I started to notice a couple of things. But for the most part, it seems to be fairly well. Now, I wanted to talk to you guys about my recent position. You guys remember I actually bought in at $7,300 right here at the top of here, but you'll notice right now my position's actually at $6,700, and a lot of you guys might be asking, well, why is that? And I wanted to answer that. So what I've noticed on Dudex that I had to do more research in is ever since the first time I bought in at $7,800, the reason I bought in was because I was planning on holding long term. I was planning on holding long term to the future and then cashing off when we hit like $9,000, $10,000, $11,000. But what I noticed is it actually shorted my position. So it seems like there's a security net on Dudex where when you go over a certain price or under a certain price, it'll flag something and automatically sell it off. So that's just, not that this is a bad website, but it's pretty much a safety net for you. And that made me go into their, I did some back-end research and I looked up their liquidation process, and it comes up that if Dudex is able to liquidate the position at the price which is better than bankruptcy price, the additional funds will be added to the insurance fund. And it talks about pretty much the process of their liquidation, when they're going to sell off for you, when they're going to take money away, when they're going to add, things like that. So what I've noticed is we've pretty much been in a red market when I've bought in. I've been down about 30%. but for the most part, it just auto sells for me. Like just yesterday or just this morning, last night, it auto sold again, and I wasn't sure why. Now, we've had this about for 3 days now, and I think that there's actually a time limit for how long you can actually hold your leverage position, which seems to be a security feature in Dudex, so be aware of that when you're trading, that this can only be short term. And with that knowledge being, learned, it actually auto sold me again. So I auto sold it. I had it 7,300, and you can see we're right back up to it, but it sold me off at like 6,600. I know we did see a small dip downwards, but we've been down to levels like that. So whether or not this auto sold me because I was too low or whatnot, you'll see that it really didn't matter. My long-term goal was for us to, even though I had 7,300, even if we fell down at this level, I knew we were going to come back up, and we did, but it sold me down here, which is annoying. Now, obviously, that means they made more money, but what happened is the second I saw that, I got an email this morning at like 7 or 8 o'clock, I actually bought back in because I was annoyed that it sold me off. So I bought back in actually at, where is it? $6,763. I put over $500 into here, and the current price is 71.73. So you can see I'm actually up, and I margined it about 10 times. I'm up about 60% right now, which is this much Bitcoin that I'm about to make. So I do plan on closing this fairly soon, and I did want to talk about what it is that Bitcoin is doing right now. Obviously, I do think you guys should get involved with Dudex. It's the first link in the description. It allows you to buy and short and leverage trade on Dudex, but now we are aware that you can do these. It's short-term positions. When you're doing Dudex, short-term positions. When you're buying long, consider using Coinbase Pro. Obviously, you can't leverage, but that's what I'm learning is you can't hold on for a long time. I believe there are small fees that are incremented for the longer you hold it, as well as it will just auto sell if it reaches a depreciation value. Instead of bankrupting you, it will just sell off at the bottom. Even though I anticipated the run to head us up to higher levels, it did automatically sign off. So that's annoying. I wanted to hold on long term, but it sold me off at the bottom instead of, the correction upwards, which would have been fine. But regardless, now you can see I'm actually up, and this pretty much evens me out. Even though I'm up 60%, it evens me out with the trade it closed. For whatever reason, I bought back in. You can see this line right here. But to continue off of Bitcoin, I'm noticing that this is a great opportunity. You're noticing a couple of things. So Bitcoin clearly has this uptrend right here, as well as the symmetrical triangle. And this is what we now have to go off of. So we were originally going off of bearish fractals. We were going off of support right here in regards to descending triangle. That all broke. So it seems like right now what we're playing in is a symmetrical triangle, and that's pretty much it. This uptrend right here is what we're using. The downtrend is what we're using. And you'll notice we're bouncing off of a very, very, very strong support. All the way back in the beginning of 2019, you'll see the clear support right here. And eventually we extended away from that. Now we've come back down to retest this, and we have to consider this is definitely here to stay. 6,700 is not going to be broken. And if it does, it's only for a wick temporarily. You'll see that there is a clear downtrend on the daily, which was retested, and we're currently kind of facing this right now. If I zoom in, you'll see we're getting very close to that. And what I seem to have in mind is I really do think we're going to pop bullish out of that. I really do think we're going to break the yellow downtrend on the RSI and blast us up to at least $8,000 before retracing lower. If we see anywhere around $8,000, I'm obviously going to sell off. It's going to make me at least 100% return on investment, which will be huge. So I do plan on selling off then. But, we're oversold on the daily. We're oversold on the daily. I believe we're oversold on the 4. Actually, we're not. We're not oversold on the 4 hour. But what's interesting to notice is we did break the resistance on the 4 hour, this downtrend, and we're starting to head higher, which is great. There's a really good chance we could fill in the gap, which would pretty much move us all the way up to, where is my paintbrush? Here it is. All the way up to the high-low MMA, which is right here. I'm honestly anticipating us to go up to around $8,000 anyway. But being that we broke the gap on the 4 hour, being that we're close to breaking the gap on the daily, gives me reason to believe we're probably going to head up higher fairly soon, and we're going to continue this trend upwards, fill in that gap, and profit off of Dudex. So these are good buying opportunities, honestly, for Dudex. Now that we've learned that it's short-term trading only that you can pretty much do on Dudex, we're looking for daily moves, maybe 2 days or 3 days at best. Now, if we didn't drop in price on Dudex, it probably wouldn't have sold me off, but I do know there's small holding fees, about 10 cents, which is nothing, but when it drops you below a certain price, it will auto-close you. So we have to take that into consideration. So when you're at the bottom, that's probably the best time to be buying in and then ride the wave up. I don't think it will close you at a positive, so but we'll find out. We're learning here on Dudex. But definitely check them out. First link in the description. Definitely check out my Patreon, guys. A huge support for all of those who are joining my Patreon and getting these updates right here. But that was a great buying opportunity. Lastly, Ethereum is retracing back up. It's probably going to get back inside of Tyler MMA any day now, if not any hour now. So I am anticipating movement back up. Litecoin, same thing. There's a good chance it can get back above, or at least retest its resistance and then fall lower. I do think these coins will be falling lower. I do think XRP will at some point head back down to 15, 16 cents. But I think in the short term right now, we need to head back up and retest the downtrend right here. But that pretty much is going to sum up today's video, guys. Like I said, long term, I do think we're headed for 16 cents. Unfortunately, I do think in the short term, we are going to retrace back up. Check out Dudex. Hopefully that helps with the liquidation aspect of the channel. I mean, of Dudex. That's something I didn't know, or I wasn't really that fond of, that it would actually sell me off when it was lower and we broke a certain resistance. Like, I more than definitely knew that we were going to swing back up. You know, whether it was going to be 2 weeks from now or a month from now, I knew that if I bought in at 7,800, even if we headed down lower, we were going to pass that on the way up. So I didn't think it mattered that you sold. But now that they charge small fees and they'll do an auto close of your position if it dips below a certain percentage, which is annoying. And I think they do that not only to capitalize on your position, but also to not set you in a negative balance. That's the interesting thing too. It will not set your account to negative, so it will sell off automatically, take whatever money that was in that position negatively from your balance, and then start you back over as a way for them to make money and as a way for you to not lose it all. But we did buy in now, 6,700. We're up to 7,210 and growing, and I do think we're going to head higher. So we're a little bit over 60% return on investment. So that's a great play. Obviously, if you had me on Patreon, you'd know about this before the video actually came live. But that is going to wrap up today's video, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.